Welcome back to Daytime, guys. Now, what we're going to talk about now is kind of like the cycle of life, right? You know, we're all born as babies and we have our parents taking care of us, in which we obviously love and enjoy them for that, for doing that for us. But eventually, time comes to a point where we have to take care of our parents too. And not a lot of people, you know, agree with that, or not a lot of people like think about that, but that's exactly why we're joined by Greg Burchard, Eleanor Rimmer, and Wendy Murdoch. Thank you, all three of you, for being here. Greg, you're from Homestead Senior Care right here in Peel Region. Let's talk a little bit about the struggles when it comes to taking care of your parents, or maybe that people do not know about.
Homestead recently did some research, and it was respondents, 25,000 respondents online. It's a caregiver website.
Right.
And what we found was 81% of family caregivers found caring for their parents overwhelming. Some of the other interesting...
And why do you think that is, though?
Because if you look at the other statistics that we found, 42% found it to be more than 30 hours a week. It's equivalent to a full-time job.
Yeah, that's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty long.
And about 58% found that it impacted their own work, their own job.
And plus, they have their own children as well, right? So you're taking care of your children and your parents, right? But I mean, like, coming from you, Wendy, I mean, like, it's just something that should be done anyways.
Absolutely. My mom, she cared for the three of us, my brother, my sister, and it's our turn to make sure that she can live in her own home and safe and have a quality of life.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about how that's actually done?
Well, because we have a supportive network, my sister and my brother, we all pitch in and we have family meetings to discuss how we're going to handle mom staying in her own home. And we have caregivers that come in on a regular basis. Unfortunately, my mom just went through some chemo treatments, and we had to make sure, and she's a diabetic, so we had to make sure we have a caregiver in the morning and in the evening. But what it is, it's planning. Right. It's planning with your siblings and with your mom or your father, and ensuring that care comes into the home, because you cannot possibly do it all yourself.
Definitely. Now, Mama Eleanor, is it promising to know that, you know, you have your daughter Wendy and all your other children there to care for you?
My children are very, very good. I think, you know, we raised our children well, and now, as Wendy has said to me, now it's giving back, giving back to what I have given them. So, and I think that's, and it's good. We get along very, very well. I mean, I think you hear of families where they squabble and that. We never ever had any trouble at all, which is really makes it really well to be able to stay in your home.
So Wendy, how is it balancing a full-time job and family, and then on top of having to do caregiving as well?
It's tough sometimes. I do go over to Mom's in the evening and on the weekends, but with the help of our caregivers that come in, it really makes the job a lot easier. We are rest assured that she has a caregiver in the evening, and she really likes that. In the morning, to make sure that she takes her insulin, and dinner, and that is people that come into the home. Right. So then we just oversee a schedule and ensure that groceries are bought, and
everybody just works together on that,
right? It's a planned.
And was Mom open to the idea of having a caregiver from the get-go?
Not at first.
Kind of like probably sort of the feeling of losing independence, right? At first, but then you kind of realize
at the beginning, but now it's company.
Right.
Because you're alone all the time, so she's become my friend. They become my friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And why would you have been resistant at the beginning?
Pardon me?
What were some of your concerns at the beginning as to why you were resistant to getting some care?
Well, I don't think I really had any concerns.
No?
I'm pretty easy, and whatever I have to do, I do, and I don't cause any trouble.
Right.
I just
go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow. That's the word.
Now, Greg, is it normal for a lot of children, or well, not children, but you know, a lot of kids from their parents not to caregive for their family?
No, I think that most, we call them adult children, most adult children obviously are involved to some degree. And we have found that seniors can be resistant to care. But I think what's important is that as an adult child, that you communicate with your parents, that you explain to them and help them understand that you have the same goals and motives for them, them to maintain their independence and for them to be able to stay at home.
You want them to be okay regardless.
Absolutely.
Right.
So from a different perspective, what would you say are some of the reasons that they are, you know, worried about having this care?
By far and away, the biggest concern for seniors is loss of independence. In a previous public education campaign, we actually did research around that and found that loss of independence came ahead of finances, death, illness. That was by far and away the largest concern that seniors had, was being able to maintain their independence and to maintain their life.
Right. Do you have any tips and strategies to give for those who are watching about helping out your family?
Absolutely. We actually just recently launched a large program, and we have 2 public education sessions in the evenings. One is at the village of Humber Heights, which is in Etobicoke, on September 15th at 6 p.m. And then we have one right here in Mississauga, and we've partnered with the Alzheimer's Society of Peel, and it's at 385 Brunel Road on September 16th at 6 p.m. And what we'll talk about during the evening is how to communicate with your parents, how to identify the signs of aging, as well as long-distance caregiving. And we're going to cover a whole host of topics and suggestions, and have some experts there to be able to provide that kind of information.
Right. And Wendy, I have to ask, because I kind of went through this with my grandma and my family at the time. Now, not a lot of families are open to having caregivers come to the house, right? And some people may be and some people are not, but there's kind of that line that divides well, can we trust them with our parents or can we not, right? Was that an easy choice for you?
You know what? The best thing to do is sit down and do some interviewing, because not everybody is going to be the perfect fit. So you really do have to find the person or the people that will fit with your situation or with your mom. And so absolutely do some interviewing and check references, the whole thing, just as like you were hiring somebody in your jobs or your business.
And speaking of hiring, what about costs? I mean, these are people's jobs coming in every day. I'm assuming it can get quite pricey.
It can, and that again is all about the planning and the financial taking a look at the situation. And when you think about if my mom was to move into a retirement home, it would be quite costly. So we took a look at the pros and cons and what the difference in the costing was, and it makes sense to keep her in her own home. And again, it is important to talk when you're younger to your parents about what their wishes are.
Start
early. Start early in those conversations so that you can really get an understanding of what they would like.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, totally.
Greg, are there some information tips you'd like to give people about where they can go, some websites to get some more information if they are interested?
Absolutely. There's 2 websites I've mentioned already. Is www.caregiverstress.com. There's some educational videos. There's a bunch of different resources there, as well as if any of your viewers today are looking for home care and need some help, want to get some more information just about home care in general and how that works, they can go to our website, which is www.homeinstead.com/Mississauga, Ontario.
All right, we have that. We're going to have that actually up on the screen right now. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, guys, and for giving us all that fun information. Yes, lots more to come on Daytime, guys. Take care of your family. Yeah, stay tuned.